Hello, Taurus. This is your moon reading. We're kind of just being with an energy today that we're going to be recording readings that are likely going to be timings readings. So pay attention whenever you get this reading, whenever you see this reading. If it's not right now while we're recording it, I'm streaming it on Twitch while we're recording it. If it's not then, and you are in your now, and just pay attention to the next time the moon is in Taurus. That'll give you a timing reference for the message that comes out. I think as well there's probably a resonance with just your moon sign and your birth chart. Do what you do with all of that. I'm going to pull cards. The Taurus energy strikes me as it's imaginative energy. Like I'm in a dreamy kind of imagination space, brainstorming, think tank kind of energy. Like there's a bunch of people sitting around a table. And everybody's brainstorming ideas, coming up with ideas. Three of Wands. What can we see in what's in the foreseeable future? What can we do? Where can we go? Spirit of Pentacles. Now, Spirit is the Knight, so this is going to be what can we do consistently for the foreseeable future, says Taurus energy. What a Taurus card, the Spirit of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. What can we see will be consistent up ahead, working with what's consistent. Visualizing what is consistent, what is likely to stay, what is sure to stay. What's that? The only certainty is that things are going to change. Also, eventually we're all going to die. And I see like this death character. It's a bit dark, but confronting a fear of death is maybe part of things. And the Hanged Man. There's someone who doesn't want to get practical. They're feeling pretty hands tied behind their back. They don't want to get practical with you. That this keeps them in a place where they can't do what they want to do. Ten of Swords. There's like, look at this, right? Talk about the bull, Taurus energy coming out, super strong, very visibly. You are visible. You are being visible in your expectation for consistency in the future, and that disables anybody who wants to mess you up. Anybody who wants to get you going, anybody who wants to get you kind of stuck in a loop of, getting upset or, flooding you with too many things to sort out. I feel like I'm sensing basically a state of just being fed up. And look at, where's this going? There's nothing to this. It might be a little bit like the Gemini reading where there's like something just needs to give because there's never going to be a good enough reason to make a decision. It's almost like I can picture something where somebody's been walking in circles and they just need to break the circle and just walk towards something specific. Let's say that in order to exit this loop, it requires disabling the energy that sustains it. So, and I see this, look at this, is like almost like wind turbines. If you want to stop that wheel from spinning, or if you want to explore something more than that wheel spinning, It's almost like the wheel spinning is so loud that we have to turn it off for a minute. We have to stop spinning this wheel because we're spending all our thinking power on spinning this wheel, and we just need to shut it down. The Lovers and the Hierophant. Now what's interesting, hi Colin. Colin's here to say hi and to discover that fire is hot, as he always does every time he comes up here. Hi bud, how you doing? Checking it out, making sure everything's going good. Do you have anything to say? We're going to let you down. Okay, bud, thank you. But they're so cute. That's so funny that Colin came up when I was just thinking that, but they're so cute. Or expect a very severe attempt. Sorry, Taurus. I don't mean to put on, again, there's like this morbid or this kind of like going into the darker places energy of just like, okay, let's look at it. What is it? It boils down to a fear of death. Okay. I'm afraid that this will end if I stop this cycle. And I mean, everything ends eventually. So if I confront my fear of death and I recognize that, this is only for a short period of time anyway, this is only something that's going to play out for a certain amount of time anyway, let's get out of the severity of being afraid of ending something when everything is going to end anyway. It's just more a matter of when. It's more a matter of timing than it is a matter of you are going to be the cause of the end. We're all facing an end at the end. When you make that choice, when you make that decision, when you decide to look for something that you know is consistent, to look for consistency or consistencies, because there's like inconsistencies, just things don't add up and I'm having to calculate everything and I get stuck in this circular calculation and I need to turn off this calculation. And in order to do that, I'm going to look for what does compute, what does calculate, what do I know for sure? What do I see right now? What is in the foreseeable future? And then there's going to be this like doubling down energy. The Lovers and the Hierophant. I really am sensing like somebody who's trying to get away with something. And it's just you finally putting your foot down and making it so that they can't keep you stalled. And what they might do is say, but don't you love me? Now the Lovers card doesn't necessarily always talk about, like romantic love, but this particular card looks a bit like all of a sudden somebody's going to be willing to. It was all about these practical things. It was all about adding up all of these details up until the point where you put your foot down and you stop the wheel from spinning. And once you put your foot down and stop the wheel from spinning, now all of a sudden this has somebody flipping into an energy of, but what about the things that don't make sense? What about the things that we do for love? What about it's kind of like almost coming across as desperation. Like somebody's desperately trying to ask you to continue spinning this wheel. Because they know you're committed. But what about love? But what about... It's about more than what we've been. And there's like, if you've been arguing with someone or if you've been just kind of going back and forth and not ever finding a solution to something. The solution is to stop the wheel from spinning sometimes. It's to say, well, let's just stop talking about it this way. Let's go somewhere else. But we supposed to love each other? It's like that, Taurus. 8 of Cups. I do love this Hierophant's kind of like in this like, what? The expression. I don't know if I can show it clearly on the camera, but the Hierophant's just like awestruck by what they're seeing. And I would say that it's basically like you know the feeling well. You know what you're looking for when it comes to what this, and I'm going to put it as a person, but I'm going to say you're basically saying you're not going to do this. And it looks like, you know, it could be you're going to basically say, I quit, you know, at a job, or like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to burn the candle at both ends anymore at this job, because you might be deciding to kind of reduce your efforts. And it's like, but don't you love this company? And the Hierophant's kind of like as aware of what it looks like when a company loves you back. I don't know, love's kind of maybe a strange word there, but it's like but don't you want to take care of the company? Well, you know what it looks like when the company's taking care of you, and they left that train at the station a long time ago. They left that concept a long time ago. Here I'm seeing in the chat, only constant is change. Stuck in a labyrinth, circle. Need to find the exit, right? 5 of Wands. There's a fight coming up. Fight for what you know is the message for you. The messages are all coming as fire so far. I mean, there's only one other reading we've done, but the last message came as fire as well. Fight for what you already know. In the moon is right here. You don't know why this thing plays out the way it does. If you kind of been following this reading, you'll have something that you're thinking about. You don't know why this happens. You don't know why, for example, a company stopped taking care of you. You don't know why somebody stopped focusing on love. You don't know why something changed. You don't know why something changed, but what you can know is that it changed. And if it's impossible to figure out why it changed, and you're spinning the wheel trying to figure out why the change is happening, pay close attention, Taurus, or pay close attention when the moon is in Taurus. You will see this very particular event where somebody tries to, or whatever this force is going to attempt to lure you into the original vision. The thing that you imagine has changed. The thing that you see concretely has changed. Is going to be used as like a, but aren't you committed to? And you're being asked to fight with what you know. And if you know that something has changed, let yourself know that something has changed. See what this is. I can see what this is. This is somebody who is being put in their place. The fact that you spin in a wheel and you never get anywhere is enough on its own of a reason it's like to fight the urge to continue spinning the wheel. And interestingly enough, it's a very circular thing to say. It's reciprocity. So I'm reading about a relationship or a situation that lacks reciprocity. And we can get kind of spinning in a wheel about, why it's not happening. And we don't know why we get spun in these wheels. And we don't have to know why. But we can sense when we're spinning in a wheel. And it's a hierophant. You can stop there and back away and say something like, because it's not reciprocal. That's the reason. Why are you putting someone in their place? Why are you, not letting someone get in your head? Because it's not reciprocal. Because it hasn't been reciprocal, or because you know what you saw. You saw someone, or you saw something removing itself or removing themselves from the energy of reciprocity. You don't owe them anything. One more card. Please. Please, I'm hearing them begging. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Taurus, I'm hearing them begging. Like, please, no, please. The Moon Chariot. Let the moon take you to this place is the advice in the cards. If you want to just kind of take it lightly, that the cards would never tell you to give up on somebody, but the cards would remind you to lean harder on what your own experience is at certain times. Four of Wands. And allow yourself to be the one who's seeing what you're seeing when you're in their environment. So this really does resonate. It looks to me very much like it could be like a workplace thing. Like it could be like, you used to do all kinds of extra stuff for your job, but you weren't getting paid for it. And there was this promise of like promotion or something like that. And that never came. It's kind of like now it's like looking like it's impossible to get these promotions, or these incentives are just magically disappearing. Like they did. What are you talking about? There were never any incentives. You were doing it because that's what it takes to work here. And I'm seeing you pulling your energy back, or at the very least, not allowing yourself to guilt yourself into doing things based on an argument that doesn't make sense. Sometimes our wheels spin because it's something that doesn't make sense, Taurus. Because they're not giving us something that adds up. And so what we have to do is return to ourselves. Taurus energy can remind us to return to what you see, return to what you know is consistent in your experience. You are wise enough to know what this is. That's the message for you. Thanks so much. If you like this reading, come see us on Twitch. And also do check out the other readings in this series, because this is a big message for timing. And so if you watch this reading first, for example, or however you did it, pay attention to when the moon is in this place coming up for you, whenever you see it. Thanks so much. Take care.